for sure. And let's see.
So we can probably get started because we have enough students here. For everybody in here who may or may not know me, I'm Mr. Sonderbeck. I am the director of the Career Center here at Vista High School. And this is all an event, part of what we call Career Weeks, where we're giving students exposure to lots of different career options that are out there. This replaces our career fair we usually have in the gym. Last year when we had it, it was the last big event we had before we closed down. We got in right under the wire, and it was raining cats and dogs that day as well. So it's raining today in honor of last year's deluge. But we're gonna have Miss I believe, how do we pronounce your last name? Capua?
Yeah, Capua.
Capua. And she's with California Conservation Corps. So I'm gonna let her take it from here. And you guys can sit back and relax and hear all about California Conservation Corps as a career option, at least to start off with. And then you, of course, can throw any of your questions down in the chat or open up your mic as we go. Either one, I'm good with that.
Definitely. Thank you so much for the introduction, Mr. Soderbeck. My name is Gemma Capua. I'm the recruiter here at the California Conservation Corps office here in Vista. Here to talk about our program today. I had the opportunity to speak with a couple students also, presenting a little bit more information kind of about what the California Conservation Corps program is all about. Today you'll get the Cliff Notes version with the basic kind of introduction of what you get to know, the benefits to joining, and the different pathways that we offer here in the CCC. On the screen, I have up our website, which is a great source of information to find out additional information about any particular program that you might learn about, that you might be interested in. Also a great way to find our locations, all of our office locations throughout California. So we are a California state agency, so part of the California state government under the Natural Resources Agency. So we have locations all across California. There's some cool opportunities where you can live and work at one of our CCC centers. So similar if you're gonna go to college and like living away at a dorm, if that is something that is a priority for you all after high school, this is a great opportunity where you can get paid to live pretty much out of home versus putting in thousands of dollars a month on like dorm fees at a college or university. So on our website, we have a map of all of our locations. You know, you can find the closest ones to you. You can find locations where we have residential opportunities, which are our blue hats here. And then non-residential offices like our one here in Vista, where you can continue living at home and commuting to work like a normal job. So I'll go ahead and just click on one of our locations. Let's go Delta. So when you pull up our locations page, you also have the opportunity to learn about each individual location, the types of programs or the types of projects that they work on, what their focuses are at their program. Our residential ones will also have a video tour of like the different kind of amenities and what it looks like at that CCC center. List of programs, projects, list of certifications and training that you can get at that particular center. So here at Delta, they offer like food service, food protection manager certification, chainsaw training. Folks even earn boating and waterway safety certifications here at Delta, with it being up in our Northern California area. So kind of more information about what we offer. So kind of who we are, sorry, it's under what we do. Sometimes I forget. We offer different kind of conservation programs. So we have, that's not this, maybe I should demo this screen. Sometimes my screens have not been handy with me here. Let me share. Let's see. So we offer different kind of conservation programs here at the California Conservation Corps. As you kind of saw from the website, a lot of them are going to be natural resource focused. Things like fuel reduction work, trail building, invasive species removal, wildland firefighting. We also have an energy conservation program here in Vista, where folks earn like their OSHA 10, which is workplace kind of health and safety certifications, as well as how to conduct energy audits and lighting retrofits. Essentially, how to take a survey about like all the energy usage being conducted in a building, and then being able to like calculate all these numbers and then send it back to these companies and say, hey, this is how much money you're using on your energy usage from your HVAC system, lighting, how much is going it, how much energy is being used up in this outlet, and then potentially making like a six figure kind of job to be able to analyze all those reports and be able to present those out to those particular agencies. So we have an energy conservation program here. There also, if you're interested in careers in like maintenance, whether it's like plumbing, electrical work, this is a really great program as well to get that certification and training for free, all while getting that hands-on experience and like about a year's worth that you can put on your resume for when you're looking for those career jobs in your next step. Other programs we have, my mouse gets stuck on the screens and then it has a hard time. Let's see, that one. We also have, as I mentioned, natural resource work. We have a new Forestry Core where folks pretty much focus on fuel reduction work in our state, local, national parks. You get chainsaw training and certification, similar if you wanted to become like a tree arborist, right? Kind of tree management. This is a great opportunity as well for folks that are interested, even in firefighting, but also careers at like California State Parks, National Park Service. They focus on doing fuel reduction work for the most part, so identifying these dead, dying trees in these areas, because when the wood is a lot drier, it's easier to burn than a healthy tree. So what we do at the CCC is we go in and remove those dead trees. For the most part, Forestry Core and natural resources can also include planting new trees and building new streams and things like that for our fish populations here in California as well. This our Energy Core one again. This one they're doing a retrofit project, meaning swapping out the electrical system for a gas burning CFL one into an LED, like fully electric one. Not only does it save these schools a bunch of money, it also makes the lights a lot brighter in those classrooms. So that is work that we do in the Energy Core as well. Some of our natural resource programs get involved in minor construction kind of things. A bulk of our natural resource work is in trail building as well as fuel reduction. So this crew is working on building a boardwalk for a state beach. So that way folks that live with like a physical disability can be able to get to the beach, be able to get to the sand or through the sand using this boardwalk. So this is where some of our folks in natural resource work go. We've also done trails locally. So we our San Diego Center and our Pomona Center have helped build the trails out at Torrey Pines, there we go, State Park. Those hiking trails along the cliff there, the CCC went ahead and built that so that way it's accessible to horses and hikers. Um, so some of our programs there. Another good one is our Forestry Core. We have other kind of specialty programs where folks only focus on doing the forestry work, such as our Save the Sierra program. Our Backcountry Trails program is one that does a lot of trail building. So pretty much, right, we're going to these state national parks, really cutting up these really, really tall trees, removing them so that way if a fire were to go through that area, it would have less fuel to burn. So protecting kind of our state parks preventatively. This here is a little hard to tell, but you can kind of see in the back kind of looks like there was a fire run through there. A lot of the trees are a little burnt, a little charred up. And you'll see the little wattles, which are to help with erosion and flood control. A big part of the CCC is an emergency response. So basically, as a part of the CCC, you get to become a state emergency responder. We do things like responding to active wildfires, helping respond to flood response projects, snow removal, pest mitigation. We've had folks sent out to Puerto Rico for hurricane relief efforts, other states even for flood and fire response projects. So being an emergency responder is a big part of being in the CCC. And as mentioned in the motto, it's hard work, low pay, miserable conditions, and more. So a lot of our locations work. Some of those locations are great. Other times you get rain and other things. Doesn't necessarily stop us from doing the work that we need to do. This one is another flood response project. Again, they're setting up these wattles so that way, you know, as the rain comes in, all the burnt debris from that fire isn't going to infect like the waterways and things like that. So this is to help flood response project. We also have a Culinary Crew that provides all the meals at our residential centers. So if you're interested in kind of the culinary career path, we have that as well. You will live on site at one of our residential centers, pretty much a lot different than if you were working in fast food, because our residential centers can house anywhere from like 60, some house like 80 to 100 core members at a time. So you're feeding, you know, 60 to 100 people 3 meals a day, 5 to 7 days a week. If you're interested in that kind of commercial culinary career path, our culinary program is a great one because you'll learn not only like your knife skills, your basic kind of cooking techniques. You'll also learn like food safety, protection manager certification, things like that as well. So this here is one of our natural resource crews. As you can see, kind of doing fuel reduction work in this area, kind of thinning out like overgrown brush and things like that. Again, probably for fuel reduction work, or it could be to help build a trail or some sort of maintenance in like the state local park. We also, this one's always a big one, we're have a wildland firefighting program where folks that are interested in a wildland firefighting career have the opportunity to gain that certification, training, actual wildland firefighting experience, all here in the CCC. So as I mentioned, we respond to emergencies. Only our fire crews are the ones out cutting fire line. We offer 2 hand crews, a type 1 crew that works with CAL FIRE and a type 2 hand crew that works with the US Forest Service or the Bureau of Land Management. So our folks are doing initial attack or mop-up assignments. Essentially, A lot of the times it's cutting fire line, creating preventative space so that these fires, you know, run out of fuel at some point in that particular area and you help to contain it.
And
Mop up assignments. Oh,
just so everybody knows, Cal Fire is going to be here next week. So, the
nice.
CCC is one of the programs you could get into for, I think it's about a year. And then you might be able to get picked up by Cal Fire. So, but they are going to be here next week if you want to sign up for that session. Just thought I'd throw that out there.
Oh, great. Absolutely. Cal Fire is great for sure. And yeah, they provide a lot of the training for a lot of our fire crews. It is common for a lot of folks to start our program and then get picked up by Cal Fire, maybe another state agency, maybe it's U.S. Forest Service, Bureau of Land Management. The CCC is a great kind of introductory program to help you get those networking connections that you need, or just information about what it takes to get in those kind of state career or public service kind of careers. Yeah, because we work with a lot of those other agencies, they partner with us, they know the work that our core members do is great, they trust the work that you all do. So it's very common that folks get approached by representatives from those agencies and say like, hey, what are you doing after the CCC? Do you want to work for the US Forest Service? You're looking to work for CAL FIRE? And actually on a lot of the fires, they end up giving our folks their business cards and stuff like that to get them connected. So when our folks in our fire program aren't responding to active fires, again, they're doing fuel reduction work. I think like this one here is a training exercise, creating defensible space for an area. And so as a part of the fire crew, folks do have to pass a written and physical test, but it's not super intense or anything. There's no crazy workouts. It's just push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, and cardio, like a 2-mile run and a 3-mile hike. So those are all the exercises that they test you on here in the fire program. If that's something you're into. Again, I work locally, so I can help you get into any location, any program. My goal is to help you support you wherever you want to go in the CCC. So yeah, more fuel reduction work and things like that. Let's see. This one was a cool trail building project out here along the Central Coast. I think this is our Monterey Bay Center. Leveling the land so that they can build a trail along the cliff there. And let me switch back to the other page. Other things are benefits about being in the CCC. So it is a paid program. You do get paid for your time. It is also about like a year commitment, but it's like not by contract. You're free to leave at any point. Your time in the CCC is about a year, but folks maybe stay on for like 8 months or something like that and then get offered a new job. It's not uncommon. For kind of more information or like a better visual of like the work that we do in the CCC, we have YouTube videos up on our YouTube page, things from core member stories, which are accounts of what people's experience in the CCC has been like. We have project stories, so exactly what it looks like doing fuel reduction work in our Forestry Core, trail building. We have a couple energy videos in here somewhere. And then you can also find them by particular program. So if, say, for example, you're only interested in wildland firefighting, we do have a full playlist with 23 videos all about our wildland firefighting program. We have 13 energy videos, a couple culinary. They're also divided by location. So this is another great resource for you all. Let's see, benefits to joining the CCC. So you do get paid a monthly paycheck or a monthly stipend. of $1,905 a month. So this is a full-time commitment. You will expect about 40 hours of work per week. But hard work, low pay, miserable conditions, and more. Just as another reminder, this is an opportunity to get that training, certification, that experience, right? Pretty much at very low risk. Also, while getting a paycheck, which is nice. On top of the 1905 per month, if you choose to live at a residential location, there is a $400 residential fee. But as I mentioned, going to a community or going to a college or university, you might pay about $1,000 for your dorm fee. So like your bed space, your meals. Here at the CCC, that's covered for $400 a month. So all your meals, your bed space, utilities, water, electric, all your uniform is covered as well throughout all of our programs. The tools, all of it is free. Certifications, all of it is free. So pretty much you get paid about $1,000 at least a month for sure for all the work that you do here in the CCC. On top of building those stories that you can add to your resume and take with you to job interviews in the future. You also earn scholarships here at the CCC. There's a $2,000 scholarship just by being in the program for a full year. No essay required. It's just like a participation award. There is a $1,500, $3,000, or $6,000 scholarship as well that you all can earn in the CCC. So potentially get paid about $1,100 to maybe $1,700 a month. Can earn about $8,000 in scholarship after 1 year in the CCC, and potentially maybe get a job picked up at a state agency or a federal agency right after. It definitely is a great opportunity to open doors for a couple folks, especially if you're interested in careers outdoors, firefighting, national parks, energy conservation, some of the qualifications and things like that to join. There are pretty much very minimal qualifications. There is no high school diploma requirement needed to join. There is no other education work experience needed to join. All that folks need to do in order to get started is be able to pass a physical exam, drug screening, and background check. The physical exam is pretty much for anyone here that has played on the school team, JV, varsity, freshman team. The physical is pretty much very similar in our program. Drug test, as we're a government program, we've got a zero tolerance kind of drug and alcohol policy. Pretty much same thing that you can expect if you were to join the military, and a background check. So other than that, there again, no high school diploma needed to join, no prior education or prior experience is needed. The only real requirement are those three things: background check, physical, and drug test, and that folks are between the ages of 18 to 25 and or a military veteran up to the age of 29. So, maybe do a couple years at community college before transferring to a university. You're just looking to get some experience. The CCC will still be a great option because you got 18 to 25.
Yeah, so I think the best way to think about this is that CCC is not an or option, it's an and option. So you could go to high school, get your diploma, go out and spend a year at the CCC, and that's like a pre-apprenticeship job training program to get you kicked off into getting into other things. Whether it's going back to community college and being part of the fire academy, or whether it's going back and getting a degree, or whether it's getting picked up by one of those state agencies or something like that. So, especially if you want to get out of the house and work outside and like hands-on, this might be a perfect option for you to spend that year out of high school. It's giving back to the state of California, but they are paying you. You are getting good experience. right? Because a lot of you guys are going to graduate with high school with nothing on your resume. This would be perfect to be able to put down all the skills and experience you learned on here. That'll make you a more viable candidate to get into a lot of different programs.
Great. And I am getting a couple messages in the chat. So in terms of how much you get paid, again, it's about $19.05 per month minus taxes, depending on how you file your income taxes. Also, depending on whether or not you live at one of our CC centers or not. That range is somewhere between $1,100 to probably about $1,700 a month for full-time kind of commitment and program. Also had another question in here about needing a social security number. It's a very good question. And so you will need a social security number as well in order to join, in terms of needing it for payroll purposes. But other than that, there isn't necessarily a, I guess, like a residency requirement, except that folks need to be a California resident and have a social security number. That's about pretty much it. And is there any other questions that folks have, something I didn't answer, or if anyone has particular questions about any of our programs?
Any other questions?
Got another one in the chat. Our organization is the CCC for short. So if you've learned in history class like this, there's a Civilian Conservation Corps. The California Conservation Corps is inspired by the work of the Civilian Conservation Corps. Yeah, folks use CCC for short, but otherwise we're the California Conservation Corps program.
I just want to thank you, and also to tell the chemistry students we are meeting as a class. As soon as the session ends, you just use a regular login.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for coming. I appreciate it as well. And a quick note to my students, make sure if you have not checked out the assignment on Canvas that you do. There's an expectation that you complete the reflection for today. So after we wrap up here, the expectation is you'll finish that reflection.
Thank you. What I will like to do is share one of our quick videos. Let's see. Emergency response is a good one because we're on the start of fire season despite the rain. And let's see. So share sound. Great. So as I mentioned, emergency response is a big part of the program.
I have one leg left.
You just got to be focused.
I'd rather be here than anywhere else.
You're getting paid to help out people.
I could go however long these fires last. You know, this is what I signed up for. I knew what I was getting myself into. I'm excited about it.
We are a second family away from home. You bond more with people. Obviously, it's like on a long road trip. We're all here for each other.
Going from fire to fire, doing whatever kind of work needs to be done.
Our first fire was a mock fire near like Yosemite type area. Very rocky terrain, very steep. And we've been to in the Bay Area.
If they want to burn more, then we'll burn more.
We were Butte. Now we're in Chico.
This is the Bear Fire.
We work at 24, then we get a 24 off to rest and recuperate.
I feel like this is one of the most rewarding jobs anybody could have.
It's one of those things like you can't get anywhere else. Like the sea's like they give you like the most outstanding opportunity, especially when it comes to fire.
The biggest perk is that when you lay your head down at night, you just know that you've given 110% physically and mentally, and known that like you've helped people and like wherever you live, you know.
Because sometimes you don't really realize it until you see the people that you're helping.
All right. Great. All right, so just a sample of one of our videos. Many more up on our YouTube page. In terms of a couple questions still in the chat, what field did we cover today? You can classify the CCC as a government kind of program or a government kind of job. We have promotional pathways where a lot of folks, or a lot of the staff that you'll meet here, have pretty much made their professional career being in the CCC, going from starting in our program as a regular Corps member and working all the way up to kind of managers and supervisors. Let's see. Another question in the chat is, are there any parts of the CCC that deal with ocean conservation? Another great question. We do have a specialty program that's called our Watershed Stewards Program, working to restore waterways, streams, creeks for our California steelhead trout and salmon populations. In addition to that program, in terms of ocean conservation, the only other program we offer is a veteran fisheries program that is only available to military veterans, but they work alongside NOAA, or the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration, to kind of track and tag fish along our California waterways. So other than that, again, most of the work that we do is kind of in natural resource work, but we have energy programs, culinary programs, wildland firefighting, and let me go ahead and just enter kind of if anyone has any other questions, you're all welcome to type them in the chat, come off mute, and I'll enter our website and my contact information. If y'all have questions about the program, you're more than welcome to reach out to me as well. And I'll thank you all also much for providing me the opportunity to get to meet you all and speak with you all today. It's a great morning, and hope you all have, I guess, a great rest of your day. Just type in my information here. Let's see, where would we live? You can choose to live wherever. So, you know, unlike when you join the military and you kind of get deployed somewhere, here in the CCC, you get to choose what program you want. You get to choose whether or not you want to live at home and work at a nearby center, or kind of live and work at one of our CCC centers. So you can choose whatever program works best for you, whichever programs fit your interest. And yeah, lots of locations up on our website as well, with, again, the map of where you can pick and choose all of the CCC locations. Another great question about the scholarship. Is there any time, like, is there a specific time you need to, or I guess how much time you need to complete in order to earn the scholarship? For the $2,000 CCC scholarship, you will need 1 full year of service. So as I mentioned, it's just a participation award. You can earn $2,000. If you complete a second year in the CCC, you can earn another $2,000 scholarship. For the AmeriCorps Education Award, that's the $1,500 to $6,000 scholarship. Those do have different hour requirements, but pretty much you will gain those hour requirements just by completing the work here at the CCC. Another question about like background check concerns. So participation in the CCC, it used to say on our media that you can't have like be on a probation or parole status. Some of those things have changed in terms of specific kind of items on background check. All of our applications do get evaluated on a case-by-case basis. So pretty much as long as you're able to join the CCC, you're still eligible for the CCC scholarship after you complete your year of service at least. For the AmeriCorps scholarship, I'm pretty sure it's about the same requirement because you've already completed the background check to get in the CCC. But absolutely, we can either get you additional clarification to see if you can get the information about the AmeriCorps scholarship requirement.
Yeah, I think one of our students was a little snarky there in the chat, so I removed him. Thank you so much for coming today. I do appreciate you coming and explaining the program to our students. I do need to start up my next session, so I know these are short, but they're also designed to be short for a reason so that we all can pay attention. Zoom has a limit. So, but thank you so much for being here. Hopefully we'll have you back on campus next year live. And for all the students here, this is a great one-year program to think about coming right out of high school.
For sure. Thank you again all for the opportunity.
Yes, everybody have a great day. Thank you so much.